Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1, Phathead, Cande Roth. Another cool one, if you will be about 70, some clouds, some sun today. We get up back to about 80 for Saturday and about 83, 84 for Sunday. Then it starts to heat up again. Next week, right now anyway, the weather looks really good for July 4th week. Starting Monday, about 86 and all the way through. I mean, yeah, you could get a shower here and there, but all the way through looks good, like mid-80s and sunshine. So we look to be having a pretty good holiday week coming up next week. We are hopeful with that. A lot of people get outside, enjoy themselves. And a reminder, next week we are all over Dublin Deck. So we have our usual Wednesday, our Hump Day Hoedown Wednesday, going to be great. That is July 2nd. But on Friday, July 4th, we have a big Ticket Blitz in concert. So Dublin Deck on the 4th, we will have a full Ticket Blitz from 5 to 7 p.m., the usual Ticket Blitz with the raffle tickets and the way we do it every 10 minutes. And then 7 p.m., the world-famous Zac Brown Tribute Band plays Dublin Deck. ZBTB will be there. So a big night. We start at 5, DJ Salty Jim. He'll be there spinning. I'll have the Ticket Blitz, and then ZBTB takes the stage about 7 o'clock. Going to be a fun night at Dublin Deck next Friday. And remember, our usual Wednesday as well. So a TikToker's Landline Mode hack for iPhones is going viral. And what's happening is people are now taking their smartphone, putting it somewhere in their house like a landline, and using it like a landline phone when they want some downtime and don't want to be around their phone. Now, how do they just get it to ring for phone calls and nothing else? Well, the hacker, the TikTok person, did this hack, right? And here's how you do it. Now, I'm going to read it to you. It's a lot, so I don't expect you to memorize this, but let me give you the basic thing here. You go to the focus feature where you would turn on Do Not Disturb and look for a plus button that lets you create what's called a new focus. Then you choose Custom and give it a name. This TikToker gave it a name, Landline Mode. You set it so it turns off alerts for everything except phone calls. So now your phone will only just ring. Everything else is silent. Any alerts, any push notifications, any texts, all that stuff is silent. You turn the volume all the way up so it'll ring like a landline phone so you'll hear it, and leave it in a specific spot in your home. So if it rings, you can go get the phone call, but everything else does not distract you, does not bother you. All the little texts and all the little notifications and all the things, right, do not come through. Or if they do, they are silent. And the only thing is your phone rings. And I guess this is something people are doing to try to, obviously clear their mind and get away a little bit. And then once it's set, you can just toggle it on and off with this one little button. And apparently Android phones have similar options as well. So that's not the worst thing. We hear about some hacks on TikTok and we're like, what are you doing? Setting it to landline mode and then putting your phone somewhere in the house so it only just rings like a phone and you're not carrying it around and worrying about it. That's not the worst thing I've ever heard. All right, by the way, this whole chat will be up at licountry.com later this morning if you need to go back and slow it down and take notes on how to do this. And then there's this. And I don't know. Researchers in China announced a new way to treat sinus infections. Instead of antibiotics, which I'll take, that's fine, give me the antibiotic. No, they've developed an army of tiny robots that get shot up your nose. It's called nanobot technology, or microbots, because they're still big enough to see under a microscope, but they are very small. Each tiny nose robot is smaller than a speck of dust, thinner than a human hair, and they are programmed to wipe out bacteria. Now, it's not clear how many have to go up your nose to clear out a sinus infection. They just call it a swarm, of tiny robots. By the way, no thank you with the tiny robots going up, and then with my luck, they'll go into my brain, and who knows what's going to happen. They tested them on some animals and say they are on a path to be approved within 5 to 10 years for humans, and they say it could treat sinus infections immediately and bladder infections in about 5 to 10 years. They're still figuring out how to make sure, this is the best part, put the asterisk next to this part in the article. They are still trying to figure out how to make sure they can get all of the tiny robots out of your body when they're done doing their work. But the hope is they will just come out when you blow your nose. The other big concern, obviously, is whether we, as a society, would be willing to shoot tiny robots up our nose. A lot of conspiracy theories as well already. Now they want to put little electronic, tiny little bots up your nose. Probably not going to work for most people, but that is technology that is being worked on. Plenty more to do. Your Bald and the Beautiful entertainment comes up about 8:12. Late 8 o'clock hour, national days, good news stories. We're going to be at about 70 again today. Cooler, yeah. Little bit of cloud, little bit of sun. We get up to about 80 for your Saturday, about 84 for Sunday. Phathead and Cande, My Country, 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.